Hi, this is Andy Littlefield of Littlefield Wills and Estate Planning. I'm back with the second of my intended 3 talks on obtaining probate. You may know that I've already done one talk on the background, the legal background to obtain probate. This one is about actually preparing an application form for probate, and the third one is actually about how to fill that form out. But as I said, this particular talk is about preparing for your application because there's quite a lot of work to do and you need to know what that is before you can actually download the form and start filling it in. So I'll start off with an important notice. Being a lawyer, this is what I do. And I need to say that this module and webinar program are subject to the same terms of use as our website. By continuing, you are acknowledging these terms of use. And you can find those terms of use on willadvice.wales/terms of use/. So having got that out of the way, I'll go straight on to the introduction. Some of this you'll find already on the first talk, but I think it worthwhile repeating some of this. Who is this for? Basically, it's intended for those people who want to apply for probate themselves. They want to save costs, or they want to have more control over the process. I would believe that there's 2 classes of people, as I think I've indicated there. There are people who want to apply for probate themselves, and I always say fair play to you. Please go ahead and do it if you want to. The other sort of person is who is quite happy to instruct a lawyer or probate expert to do the work for them, but want to know what's going on, and in that way have a bit more control over the process. But, and it's a big but, it's not for everyone. Above all, you need to do your homework. You need to have the time and space and inclination to do that homework. You need to be organized. You need to be a fairly methodical sort of person, because you need to keep records, accurate records, because it's always possible that someone, the taxman, the probate registry, may come back and query the information you put down. So you need access to that. Also, as I said there, you need to spend time. It's not a quick process. You can't cut corners. You need to be prepared to do the homework, get the information, and then fill it out. And guesstimates, although sometimes they're acceptable, as I'll come to shortly, guesstimates have a risk, and you need to understand what that risk is before you do this. So, as I said, this is a part of a 3-stage set of webinars, and you need to understand the legal background. You need to understand the information and why you're getting information before you fill out any forms. So don't rush. Understand the background first. Another point, these talks are really for people who want to be an executor or administrator. I'll explain those terms very shortly, but they are not light duties. If you take on the role of executor and you're going to do it yourself, as I said, by all means do it, but understand it is an important position. And above all, you need to understand that being an executor is a personal liability. You've taken on personal obligations, including financial ones, and it's not to be undertaken lightly. So, and the other point I should make is once you're intermeddling, as the legal phrase goes, once you're involved and getting information, you're taking on the role of executor or administrator, and you can't put it on one side. So if you're not sure what's going on, you're not sure what you're doing, and you think you're getting in above your head, you must seek legal, financial, or tax advice. Don't blunder on. Cut your losses and get some help for yourself. So just a further reminder about the terminology, which again I've gone through in the first talk. First of all, what is probate? Probably the number 1 question. There's sometimes a misunderstanding what probate is. I've had the question more than once, for instance, if I don't have a will, does that mean I don't need probate? Well, the answer is yes, you do. Probate is one of those inevitable things like death and taxes. Probate is nearly always needed, except where the estate involved is less than £5,000 and the organisation involved has decided to take part in that scheme. In all other cases, you need probate, and you will need probate where there's land or shares, company shares involved. So that's probate. What is a testator? A testator is the person who made the will. Simple as that. Who are executors? Executors are the people nominated in the will as the persons who have to undertake the roles of an executor. I'll come to those duties very shortly. Administrator is simply the people who act for the estate where there isn't a will. And in that case, there has to be a discussion who is entitled to be an administrator. There's a set order. This isn't the forum for describing how that priority is worked out. So if you want to know who is entitled to be an administrator in the case where there isn't a will, then you need to go to the non-contentious rules, 1987, Rule 22. Intestacy is the situation where there isn't a will. A whole set of new rules, whole set of rules about who can be administrators, as I said, who is entitled to a share of the estate. This isn't the forum for that. You need to do your homework on that one. And finally, inheritance tax. I come to that in a little bit more detail later on in this talk. I refer to it as IHT for short. And again, I'll deal with that later on, but it's a complicated little tax, so you need, again, to listen to my talk. And if you're not sure what's going on, do a bit more homework.